好。
Overcoming difficult. How difficult is difficult? Born prematurely in 1996 at 6.5 months, David Light shouldn't have to survive.
Shouldn't have 加 PP shouldn't have survived.
Shouldn't have survived, but against all odds, he did. He describes the starting of his life in Hangzhou as being dragged back from shadow of death. He received oxygen for his lungs, but oxygen toxicity cost him his sight. David's blindness meant he could only play toys that produced sounds. On his third birthday, he received a toy electronic keyboard. Gradually, he learned to play the demos stored therein. Later that year, after hearing a popular song on the radio several times, he played it. It was then that his dad realized his musical ability. David remembered his his first encounter with a giant that could sing. That giant, a real piano. He took piano lessons for several years, starting at age 4. When David was 8, his piano teacher accompanied him and his father to Beijing. There, David played for Professor Zhou Guangren, the well-known faculty member at Central Conservatory of Music. Stated that David had a strong gift and good sense for music, but he had bad technical skills. David's dad asked Professor Zhou if David should persist in pursuing a musical career. She answered that if he received professional training, yes. He offered to find him a teacher in Beijing. So, after a year of preparation, the family moved, and David became a student of Mao Dongli, and remains so today. David also attended the Beijing School for Blind, graduating. Last June. He then took the breed college entrance exam, becoming the first fully blind in Beijing to pass. Blind person in Beijing to pass. David now studies at Central Conservatory of Music, China's top music institution.
institution.
Besides music, David loves English.
圣诞
Loves English.
小问题要注意啊。
He was 7 when his neighbor gave him her old English cassette.
Because he was fascinated by the sound. 变分词构句。
Fascinated by the sound.
对。
He learned the words and dialogue without knowing their meaning. The neighborhood kids later explained their
为什么你要你的音 explained
them to him. In Beijing, he listened to English.
Listened to
English
小问题的话就
on the bus.
对。
The native English speaker nearby and encourage him to speak English, and slowly he began. He also learned from all studio's classroom radio program, and continue to do so today. The future is indeed bright for the gifted and passionate young man.
好，你要注意速度、流利度。